Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Christopher Malcolm Curtis Bowen, on this evening edition of Fire for Liberty, transcending in and out of space-time in this magnificent, brilliant opportunity of not only anchoring the light as being light workers and light beings of light, violet children, indigo children, star seeds, star children, star adult. This is an incredible, not only continued opportunity to continue to anchor the light as we connect, of course, as it is not only part of the divine sacred geometry of 9 planets around a sun, 9 suns around a larger sun, and then, of course, the alignment of our suns with the central galactic sun, central galactic sun. And that light radiance, of course, continues to anchor the energies of what allows our DNA ultimately to continue to recode and recalibrate into crystalline DNA, which of course is very good and has been happening rapidly. Of course, that's, for example, why so many per se abilities, of course, that realm of per se the capabilities to, just the most basic ones is astral projection, just to be able to astral project, and the creative ability to create new designs just in the meditative field, co-creative field, consciousness field, realm, per se. And of course, Heavenessecent evolution, the ultra expansive and yet simplifiable complexities involved in the deep intricacies, it's truly intricate intricacies of Phoenix phenomenon, specifically the quadrants aspects are involved in astral, cosmic, universal, and galactic ascension, consciousness, perception. That's just ultimately some of the basic, simple, amazing abilities. Not necessarily just as an ability, but as not only a responsibility, but a duty and an alignment, which of course ultimately allows us to once again recognize, of course, within, it's always been this way ultimately, but recognize within our own divinity, and then therefore be able to not only ascend and create and live on a higher vibration with the planet that's also ready for ready for its crystallization, ascension, transformation. Like a star, for example. That's one of the fantastic major things, events. What's the better word? Creation ability, multi-faceted aspects. I use the word multi a lot. This is actual. It's amazing, truly, anchoring. One key things. So, going to list, but this is also just, I guess, a reminder, even though it should be pretty self-evident. Prime being omnipresence, and absolute existence. As well as cosmic knowledge. To start from one of the most basic foundations of just ascension in general is meditation, or is calming the mind, or just frequency waves, or brain waves. I almost said brand waves, like brain and waves at the same time. Brain waves. Anyway, Alpha Beta Delta Charlie, or excuse me, Charlie, Alpha Beta, Gamma, and Delta. The frequencies, of course, is important. Of course, synchronicity. That's a frequency, which ultimately it's kind of a sort of common sense understanding. I mean, this is a key part of enlightenment, because I mentioned, and this is, I guess, a reiteration, or not necessarily a reiteration, but like a clarification of, and of course this can be discovered in many different ways, of course. But of course the frequency is like a broad, it's a frequency, and so that wave brain frequency taps into that, and then there's an effective change. I know. I read about. There's so much. There's so much. So here's the thing. Like, I know about. I read about this ages ago. Well, not ages ago, but and I just automatically, high vibration. Of course, that's a very positive thing, but gosh, there's so technology, or there's an expedition to an area to investigate infrasound, and how that is the way communication is. Actually, I already mentioned that in previous episodes. Infrasound is how the discovery of infrasound coming from not only different planets and different parts of the galaxy and the universe, other galaxies, but infrasound from the vibrational frequencies of crafts, of spacecraft, and infrasound coming from the Earth, and just frequencies from different, like I understand pyramids. I'm pretty sure pyramids, some pyramids, or a pyramid, or one pyramid, gives infrasound, and the disruption of that infrasound disrupts communication and disrupts space contact. For example, our cosmic family contact with her. Not that I'm pretty sure, or not that that is a major component that was holding us back. I just say that because, of course, our consciousness is. It's a common sense thing, and I don't mean to just label it as common sense, but it's a sort of regular awareness, or not regular awareness, but that connection, of course, with our star family, of course, it's always there. So even if there are lots of disruptions like technology advance or purposely disrupting with the infrasound frequencies for higher consciousness thinking. Of course, there's no limit, or there really shouldn't be a technology that's that strong. And I say that because I don't think. Well, I'm thinking positively, which is a huge important part of ascension in general. Amazing stepping stone, walk through. To break through those frequencies, or to break through those technologies that are like what's it called? Such as and also this, I don't think they're there anymore. Well, positive thinking that they're not there anymore is a very important thing. But the minds that are set in the astral field, that is another main reason why there hasn't been a lot of, or why landings have not been truly likely. And that was, past, so hopefully all the minds are gone. But minds in the astral field, very not good for the planet and us. Of course, positive thinking, I believe, and no, not necessarily. Let me just state the facts. That positive thinking thought form, just to not have those minds in the astral fields, is a very important thing, because there is lots and lots and lots of course, work to be done to, for example, rid the minds. The other part is there's so much when it comes to, which is why, so I'll explain this in two parts. Subtleties first, go over, and then the actual, the major facts of exactly how. And I'm just gonna say that it is assumed that we know that we recognize. I'm gonna start coining that word a lot, using that term a lot on this broadcast. That we recognize our own heavenessence. Actually, of course we recognize our own heavenessence, but I think another key thing is to recognize our own godhood for understanding our unity not only with one another, but our responsibility not only to our planet, but of course to our galaxy and of course to our universe. And subtleties to combine those two. So let's start with this explanation of the subtleties. And also this probably should already be known, but I'm going to reiterate it anyway, because this still just grasps some of the graspation of the detail of, well, here we go. To listen most attentively with a calm mind to the discourse or the speech of a learned man, and more so if the subject be divine science, because it is the most abstruse and the subtlest of all the sciences. Thinking over what one, or end quote, or dash, next, is thinking over what one has heard in retirement, and in removing doubts, if there be any, by questioning the speaker. Questions may sometimes be asked even in the middle of a discourse of the speaker, and the audience think proper. When all doubts are cleared after hearing a discourse and thinking over it, let the inquirer enter into the superior condition and see for himself by the help of yoga whether it is the same as he had heard and reasoned out or not, is the resulting, or next, is the resulting correct knowledge of that nature, properties, and characteristics of the desired object. Now, starting small, big, small. It's not really small, but it's not really big, but it's not really small, because this is one, been going on for years, decades. Two is more to help grasp the largesse, per se, and three, to help initiate seed planting ideas. And then, of course, four, to create an idea, or create something, event, new studies, new fields, new topics, new stuff, new. I speak about that more in my other broadcast. Mars. Star bases, believe there's 5 or 3 or 2. Other beings that are there. Craft, trade goes on. Asteroid mining goes on too. I'm pretty sure I messed that out in another podcast. But at the same time, there's another key important thing at the same time is actually perhaps even more important, even though that is very, very important, because the conditions that here I think I guess here's just some things to think about it, or think about that would help, I guess, in general raise consciousness, because there's okay, so I guess I could break it down this way, and this is not really what this broadcast is usually specific for, but let's explain or deliberate, quantify, clarify. So, individual, family, group, friend group, city, or town, city, county, state, country, or continent, planet. 2 planets, or planet moon relationship, or part of the moon, quadrant of the moon, half moon, full moon. 2 planets, 3 planets, 5 planets, 9 planets, and their moons, sun, and their relationship, of course, multiple solar systems, and their relationships, star systems, quadrants, or sectors, actually, even though time is told by quadrants, primarily, like rev, we haven't even been a quarter rev, so we're pretty young. Anyway, and then there's some who have had a full rev. Anyway, sector, that was something I read a while ago. Sector, galaxy, multiple galaxies. And there's, I actually built up from this broadcast type, even type of 13, 14, and type 15 civilizations, all the way up to type 800 plus civilization, type 829, 10 to the power of 10 to the power of 8,296 watts. The amount of, radiance, which could be a pretty good explanation. It's not only, the allowance of many important aspects of what allows us to understand exactly how, which is kind of a reiteration, but anyway, not only how powerful we are, but our sovereignty that we must understand. Because, sure, if, for example, we stay and I mean this in the most positive way because this is a brilliant true example, because the astral, or I say astral, but, well, yeah, the ability to astral travel is happening anytime, all the time, and truly able. So, the other thing is, well, I actually already mentioned that in previous previous broadcasts, but training on different planets and then jump or warp or whatever to the planet with those, of course, skills already known, and then live it out, or just continue on. But of course, this is one of the grandest, literally, definitely one of the greatest places to be in the galaxy, in most galaxies too. Well, it's in the universe, because there's no planet like Earth. And that's what's so exciting, because we're going through a process of of truly, a true ascension, true light radiating, true learning, true sovereignty building. And I mentioned that so many times before about, the C word, Cabal. We are, we're being free. I mean, we are like we've done so much incredible progress, and still, there's still a lot more work to do, and there's still, a lot of Heavenessence, and, the best, it's cliche, but the best is yet to come. So, this is, a brilliant, unique broadcast to kind of click-clack and, move on, or not necessarily just forget about the difference between, or the similarities between silver and gold, but just the unique combination of our unique identity, purposes, ideas, unities, and consciousness in general, how it flows, moves, and changes together, and how our understanding of it, of course, is always clear, and of course we can, usually, sometimes clear, and whether it's clear or whether it's not clear, it's literally, there's so much ascension, so much positivity going on when not only vibrational frequency of DNA is enhancing, but the comprehension of our, even though it's pretty clear from not only from an unlimited perspective, but to be abundant, free, and of course to live in abundance, or to be in abundant land, and of course we're building brilliant, magnificent, grand fruitions. This is your host, Christopher, my co-artist Bone, in this evening edition for Fire Libby. Transcendence, light, love, peace, unity, transformation, paradisical fruition, incredible progress, peace, tenacity, and courage to do the right thing, ability, and of course, million light year sight. That's a great phrase. Million light year sight. I like that. This is your host, Christopher Malcolm Bone, in this evening edition A Fire for Liberty on the 20th of August 2017. Love you all.